Good afternoon, all friends, seniors, and colleagues. So this is the source of my presentation, the article ranging between 2013 to 15. So important article showing importance of balanced crystalloid or balanced salt solution in critical and non-critical ill patients. Okay, we'll discuss some evidence and the use in special situation and harms associated with inappropriate use of IV fluid therapy, whether dose or selection. Basically, we know the fluid or total body water is 60% of individual adult body weight. So it makes in, for example, in 70 kg person, it is 42 liter of total body fluid. Out of that, 2/3 is major chunk is intracellular, that is 2/3, which makes 28 liter. And remaining 1/3 is extracellular. Extracellular is again divided into 3/4 of interstitial and 1/4 of plasma fluid. That makes interstitial fluid between the cell of 11.5 liter and plasma content of 3.5 liter. Again, female is having more of fat, so it contains female contains 55% of total body weight as the total amount of fluid in body. You can appreciate as interstitial fluid, content of fluid in different departments. Plasma and interstitial, more or less, they are having same content and they are having sodium as chief ion, cation. And intracellular fluid is having potassium as chief cation. So basically, intravenous fluid is a drug and it contains fluid with ions and some calories sometimes. And like any drug, it has its own adverse effect if used in improper dose and indication. It is easy to give fluid, water and salt, but it is difficult to remove many times, especially in case of cardiac, renal patient, chronic liver disease patient, and some patient with hypoalbuminemia and inflammatory state. So what is ideal fluid for resuscitation is it should sustain in intravascular volume. The chemical composition should match plasma and it should not cause unnecessary accumulation and no adverse effect. And it should be cost effective. So we have answered most of the few questions during first presentation. We'll try to answer last question, which type of fluid does my patient need, right? So let's try to understand different type of IV fluids. Here, important solution and most commonest fluid of choice by and large is normal saline. You can see the fluids in green background. They are isotonic by and large. You can see normal saline is pH is 6. It's acidic pH with high load of sodium and chloride. While balanced salt solution, which are lactated ringer and Plasma-Lyte A, they are having pH near normal to plasma and chloride and sodium near equal to plasma level. They have added potassium and calcium in balanced salt solution, and they have buffer base, which are precursor of soda bicarb, precursor of bicarbonate like acetate and gluconate. You can see here, they are basically used in hyperosmolar state like GI volume loss, but they are contraindicated in intracellular edema like cerebral edema. This half strength NS and dextrose. Even lactated linger is contraindicated in basically slight hypotonic solution should be avoided in cerebral edema cases. So this is very basic information needs to understand. We'll try to select IV fluid according to our purpose of using it. Maybe resuscitation, which is for rescue therapy, initial part of instability in ER mostly, routine maintenance kind of fluid, and replacement, which is in stable state, you want to replace the loss. For resuscitation, mainly in some shock state, maybe sepsis or trauma related or hemorrhagic or hypovolemic. Very important to understand. If you give dextrose, which is hypovolemic solution, if you give 1 liter, only 72 ml will go to intravascular compartment. While balanced salt or saline, if you give 1 liter, it will, almost 200 go to intravascular compartment remaining 800 will go to interstitial compartment. While dextrose, most of the significant amount will go to intracellular compartment because of hypotonicity. Colloid, most of the volume will remain intravascular. So what about septic shock or severe sepsis, which is, now septic shock. So fluid challenge, as we discussed in previous presentation, fluid challenge till there is response in cardiac output. Crystalloid is the first choice. Of course, balanced salt or saline is equivalent in efficacy. Albumin you can use if there is a large amount of resuscitation already been done and there is no response. The guideline says against use of HES in sepsis and septic shock because of the risk of acute kidney injury. Right? Trauma will go to what is important. Again, crystalloid is first priority. Lactated ringer is the first choice. You can use hypertonic saline if there is brain edema and massive hemorrhage requiring the damage control surgeries. Right? The debate of crystalloid and keloid is ongoing. Basically, the prototype of colloid is human albumin. So here again, there is no debatable, and it is not proved by evidence-based medicine. The most of the indicated use of albumin is in advanced liver cirrhosis like hepatorenal syndrome, post paracentesis, when there is significant volume is tapped out and there is circulatory failure, and renal failure associated with SBP. You can use in plasma exchange as well as some hemodynamic instability along with dialysis. If there is patient is hypoalbuminic, oliguric, and hemodynamically unstable. The role of albumin is, as we discussed, it is in severe sepsis and septic shock. After adequate crystalloid resuscitation, you can consider albumin. We'll not discuss much of the cases here. There is a maintenance fluid, mainly in surgical NBM patients, GI disturbances, when there is gut is non-functional. Balanced salt solution, plasma light is increasingly recommended in such cases, as well as trauma, post-surgical cases, burns and decay. Right? You can give some calorie in form of DNS or balanced salt solution. The daily water requirement is 25 to 30 ml per kg, and dextrose requirement is 50 to 100 gram per day. Very important to know in post-operative, perioperative cases is risk of hyponatremia. There are a lot of stimulus, pain, stress, nausea, vomiting. They cause non-osmotic release of AVP that will lead to hyponatremia. So you must avoid dextrose in such group of patient. Right? Pulmonary disease, CNS, all many cases in critically ill patient, they tend to have release of AVP, arginine vasopressin, which is causing SIADH. So you should avoid dextrose or water containing, hypotonic solution. The fluid replacement for ongoing external fluid losses like blood loss in polytrauma, as we discussed. Again, first choice will remain crystalloid. GI loss, diarrhea, vomiting, pancreatitis, dengue, and metabolic loss. Here, balanced salt solution is better, doing better over normal saline, because normal saline is having a low pH and risk of metabolic acidosis and higher risk of renal injury. So again, this is evidence-based. Some important point: bleeding patient should initially, of course, bleeding should be controlled, and isotonic balanced solution are fluid of choice in majority of critically ill patient. Consider saline in hypovolemia and alkalosis. Albumin you can consider in severe sepsis after initial resuscitation, non-responding to crystalloid. Albumin not indicated in traumatic brain injury as per SAFE study in 2004 and subgroup analysis. Hydroxyethyl starch is not indicated in sepsis and those patients with acute kidney injury. What are the possible hazards of fluid therapy? Ravi, you are always there. generalized edema, fluid overload. What are the hazards? Which one is not true? Hyperchloremic alkalosis, acute kidney injury, fluid overload like cerebral edema, abdominal compartment syndrome, and hospital-acquired hyponatremia. None of the above, all are true, right? So these all are the hazards of fluid overload or overuse of fluid. So message is very, the same. Normal saline is preferable in hypovolemia and metabolic alkalosis, but large and fast volume resuscitation, which is more than 1.5 liter per day, may lead to hyperchloremic alkalosis and risk of renal injury. You may consider balanced salt solution, plasma light, in trauma, post-surgical cases, burns and decay. And one should avoid albumin in traumatic brain injury, hydroxyethyl starch in sepsis, avoid dextrose 5% in post-operative period to avoid hyponatremia. And as we know, over last 1 decade, we have realized importance of giving overzealous extra fluid therapy, which has been associated with a lot of harms, whether it is pulmonary, extrapulmonary, or organ dysfunction. And one point I again want to mention about albumin, just chasing and treating value of low albumin without evidence of hypovolemia or oliguria or hemodynamic instability, it's very debatable, questionable, and by and large it should be avoided. Use of albumin level of 2.5 and you use albumin, patient is stable, except that it has very many theoretical advantage of antioxidant activity and maintaining barrier of endothelium, as well as drug transfer property of albumin. They are theoretical advantage, but again, it's a debatable to just to treat the number of albumin level. So while prescribing IV fluid, you should consider what is your purpose: resuscitation, replacement for lost volume, routine as a maintenance, reassess fluid volume every 12 to 24 hours, signs of fluid overload, and think of redistribution if you are given crystalloid in larger amount. Thank you.